I learned a very important lesson today, and that is test your technology before you spend an hour and a half filming and there's nothing to show for it. Yeah. So, because of that, we're going to do a simpler video today, and it is just going to be my library tour because I cannot bother to do this again. um, on Instagram, a lot of people have been asking me about my library because even though I show about 3 to 4 bookcases, I have a total of 8 in my house. And I've been asked quite a bit on my Meet the Bookstagrammer post. I've been asked quite a bit about showing my bookcases. So I'm like, all right, my other ones aren't as exciting. But sure, I'll show you guys some. So let's do a library tour. Hopefully this is short. All right, as you guys know, these are the shelves that we have in here. And there is Gannicus, right? But you guys don't really see like the rest of the room. This is my workspace. You might be wondering why that's there. That's because the ceiling light does not work right now. And I just don't have the patience to figure that out. Hi, sweetie. Yes. This is Gannicus. He is the Blerd Library mascot, as you can see on his name. This majestic animal has been with us since 2019. We got him from the animal rescue center that me and the kids used to volunteer at. I got the idea of volunteering at an animal shelter because my youngest is autistic, and I wanted to make sure that, especially like the way he presents, he's not always like the calmest when he is touching things and touching people, when he was younger. So I wanted him to learn like how to handle animals and take care of them and stuff. So every Saturday we would go in and we would do 2 hours of cleaning. Yeah, we didn't do the cute stuff first. We would do like 2 hours of cleaning, doing dishes, like cleaning dog bowls and stuff. And then we would go out and walk dogs or play with the cats and stuff. And that's how we got this guy. I think he was only in there maybe 3-4 days, and we just took to him right away. This is our big guy. I love him so much. He's the reason why my son started talking. But enough about him. Let's get into the books. All right, so I have 15% on my phone. Let's do this quickly. All right, this is DC. As much as I would love to say that all of these shelves are super organized, kind of. It's mostly vibes and size. Like this shelf over here is all because of how tall the books are. There's no other rhyme or reason behind it. It's just because of height. But let's go back over here. These are comics. This is mostly DC, and then some Dark Horse that didn't fit on another shelf. If you ever get a chance, read these, okay? These are absolutely fantastic. Or read these, but also like get the hardcovers. The hardcovers, I think they do a great job with designing them. Not just the dust jackets, but the actual hardcovers. Image is one of my favorite comics. Oh my goodness, I've been having technology problems all day, but we're gonna get through it. This is my image shelf. It does spill over into this shelf down here, but for the most part, I've managed to keep everything in one place. Um, it's where I have the most omnibuses. I love Image. It's one of my favorite imprints ever. Um, all of these are bangers. I have not read volume 2. I have read volume 1. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Odyssey is a great one. It's not written by a BIPOC author, I don't believe, but it's a retelling of the Odyssey. It's super queer. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is what Skyward is a great one. Like I can't say there isn't anything on the shelf that I did not enjoy. I can't say that. I think Sweet Paprika is the only one that I have not read yet, and that's because I just got it like a week ago. But everything else has just been like banger after banger. This is Lion Cat. I love him so much. All right. Next one. This is the next shelf. This is like a mixture of indie, boom, vault. So we have like Jason Derulo's comic. I haven't read it yet. But everything from, I forget, is it Z2? Yeah, I got a couple things from them. Like this one is, who is, I forget which rapper is connected to this one. I also have Method Man's comic. Like I said, I really want this man to just take me comic book shopping. I want him to sign this as well. But Princeless is actually the first comic I ever taught in a school with. Yeah, it's a great comic, just overall. I like the first, it's like the first 3 volumes are cool, then it goes off on a little tangent and then comes back into the actual story. But overall, it's a good run. Heartstopper, obviously, the first 2 volumes were a gift from Sheena. And me and my kid have just been reading them. But this is my YADC. I've obviously been in love with Vixen and YC. So I had the first 4 volumes, and I'm waiting for 5 and 6 to come out. James Tinian is one of my favorite authors of all time. So Something is Killing the Children. World Tree is up there. The Woods was my first introduction to him. His writing has gotten exponentially better. His like story plotting has been infinitely better. So yeah, this is, hold on, I gotta show you guys this. So this is Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Oh, Kurama, yeah. I have read it, but I didn't have physical, like, okay, so physical copies could not get for the longest, and because it's just expensive. And I met him at the Schaumburg last year at the Black Comic Book Festival. And I told him how I didn't have any money, but finally I do. So this is one of my favorite signatures ever. I cackled when I saw that. So yeah, these are mostly Titan. This is a great universe that I'm looking into. I've already read Superb Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and then Queen Credible, that's written by Ronnie Barnes, who is actually another one of my favorite writers. But I'm looking to get physicals for all of them. These are all the comic books that just don't fit anywhere else right now. So we have our Palestinian writer, Squire. We have access to the Black book community. So like if you ever want to know what Black artists, writers, and what they're doing, this book is like an amazing resource. I don't think they have anything more recent than the 21-22, but we need one desperately. This is Rosarian Publishing. You know, Bad Mothers is one of my favorite. Box of Bones is another favorite. I wasn't a fan of Refugee. What else? Then we have Lumberjanes, which is another favorite of mine. This is something that I put my kids on. We have Niobe, She is Life. This is the only one I have. I never really got into the rest of the series, the universe, or anything like that. Vern, which is great. First, second. This imprint is amazing between Anya's Ghost, this one Summer, American Born Chinese. I think it's absolutely great. Like I said, I'm a Brit Lit girl, so we have Hamlet in here, and that Zelda is for my husband. And the Magic Fish. I've had this for years. I have not read it. I'm disappointed in myself, trust me. These are my nonfiction for Black comics and just nonfiction in general. I got, where is it? All right, Black comics. I got this one in college when I figured out that this is what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to, if I ever went back to graduate school, I wanted to go for indie Black comics and study Afrofuturism, which is another reason why I got Infinitum, which is good. It's good critically, like if you are looking to analyze it for like its multitude of layers and stuff. For school, Infinitum is great. It's not a mass market popularity thing, you know. Next shelf, those are up there. These are like the big ones that you see on Book Talk and stuff, but they're not up there because of that. They're up there because they are the physically largest books I have, and that's it. So all of those up there, up until like Black Panther, Tales of Wakanda, it's up there because of its size. That's really it. Um, Up there we have the short stories, um, short story collections. It's over there. So the Janelle Monáe, Dark Matter, um, Midnight Indigo, Africa Risen. That's all my short story collections, and then R of Kwang is over there. Next, this is where my Queens of Literature are. So this is Queens of Literature, and basically everything that I plan to read that's on Nisi Shaw's list. So we have Mumbo Jumbo, the Salt Eaters. I forget where that is. I think that was a reference that was in a book that I was like, let me figure this out. Stigmata and Unburnable are other ones that were references in books that I ended up getting as a result. Of One Blood is proto-black sci-fi. So yes, proto-black sci-fi. So basically, I think this was published in 1902. And that's why you get it. I'm a big fan of looking back to know where we came from. Gloria Naylor is one of my favorite writers, as well as Zora Neale Hurston and Toni Morrison. Slowly getting through all of their works. Like, honestly, there's just so much out there, right? Everything else on this is my I need to get to soon. This is Samuel R. Delany. This is a first edition Nova that I found for $2. Very proud of myself for this find. Almost ran out the store with it because I was like, if y'all don't know what y'all have, I need to make sure that I get this. So I'm actually reading Babel 17 right now, and I'm loving it. Yeah. I read Rosewater, did not read the other two. Like I said, this is a shelf that I have to get to by the end of 2024. This is the shelf that holds mostly the Dandelion Dynasty. Now, I've had books 2 through 3 for the longest, but I finally got a physical copy of book 1. So they do not match at all, and I'm very irritated with it. It's very it frustrates me, but fine, whatever, right? This is like where all of the tour books that I get. No Gods, No Monsters. This is where this series is gonna sit. I really enjoy that series, so I have to get to We Are the Crisis soon. This is where my Sylvia Moreno Garcia sits, as well. Did I put all my Latinx authors there? Not all of them, but some. Yeah, I did that. And then these are my indie books. So Elizabeth Stevens, who I fucking love. Like that's just fantasy romance done right. Completely, wholeheartedly. Whitney Hill, Elemental was good. I'll say Elemental was good. I wasn't in love with it the way I was Elizabeth Stevens. And then finally, The Boy with Fire. This is the indie version of The Phoenix King, so I'm very happy I have that. And then Bones to the Wind by Tatiana. Over here in this little corner, if we can just scooch on over a bit. All right, here we go. This is like spillover for mostly horror and then just some fantasy that maybe I'll get to. A Nancy Boys is over there, but I decided I'm just going to wait for the graphic novel. I found that with Neil Gaiman, I need the graphic novel or a movie, a TV show, because I cannot do his actual writing. I can't. I'm sorry. What else do we have? This is the rest of my horror. I'm so proud of what this shelf is looking like. I've read most of these. Okay, I have some thrillers in here as well. My Sister, the Serial Killer. But I love horror now because of Zenny Rockland, because of Victor LaValle. I wouldn't have found a chance like Ness Brown, Scorch Between Stars. I really enjoyed that one. Zone 1 was okay. That was my first introduction to Colson Whitehead. I just couldn't get past with that book. I couldn't get past him talking about himself, like the character talking about himself in third person. I was over it. But I ended up listening to the whole thing. I don't know. Cassandra Claw's growing on me. She, hit and misses with Cassandra Claw, but I appreciate that. So like this is a little bit of a mess. It's weird that I like parts of it, and I think that's because of the TV show Vox Machina. Um I like parts of The Salt Grows Heavy, but as a whole, not really. This one felt like campfire story, but Song for the Quiet Hammers on Bone fucking killed it, man. What else? This is just Marvel. Strange Academy is one of my favorites of all times. Then we have all of Moon Girl, including the newest Moon Girl. We have Ironheart Mosaic. Basically, if you could think of a black character, I have it in here. And then this is the Unique Universe, American Gods, Gaiman, obviously, like I said, I really only do his work in graphic novels, in TV and film. But the Unique Universe is here, and if you haven't read it, I think it's worth the read. Malika is an absolutely fantastic series. It's a great run, and all of these are connected, and you have to read them in a particular order. So I am behind severely, but the goal is to read all of them in the order that he wants them to be. What else? So if you can see, this is my chair. This was thrifted for $50. The best find ever. Ever. I love this chair so much. Me and the kids sit in this all the time. This is this pile of books that every reader has. This is the books that I have to get to over the next few weeks. This is a retelling of, obviously, The Count of Monte Cristo. This is from Vince Staples. This is the indie comic. And these either have to deal with book club, a dream, or interviews. But I will read anything with Terry J. Benton Walker. I love his work, especially like Blood Debts. This is the newest shelf. That's why it's so empty. So we have rocks in here. So I have rocks. And the goal is to paint these rocks with designs. What are the designs? I have no fucking clue. If you have any, comments what you think they should be, let me know. That's my part-time job, and I keep that tucked away when I'm not at work. These are canvases, so I plan on wrapping these and sending them out in a few months to friends and just people who have helped ignore the garbage. Because like you can see right out into the hallway. But these are all my YA books. I do have some on the other shelves, but for the most part, I don't. Like they stay here. And these are just like leftovers. It's sad to say that I'm saying like Nanette Okorafor is leftover, but honestly I had no space anywhere else. So this kind of just sits here, and these are the books that I've gotten recently. These are the bookmarks that are for the giveaway for the last video. So I will be doing that soon. All right, let's go out into the hallway. We're gonna ignore this because, humans live here. So this is my hallway that I don't really show. Had to close my kids' bedroom door, so like this goes out into like a whole different section of the house where like you can go into one bedroom and then go into another bedroom. So like it's nice I could just like tuck that away. So this is my hallway. If you guys, my landing, right? These are bookcases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 7 is right here. So if you were with me with my, oh look, hi. If you were with me with my Bookstagram back in 2021, 2022, you know that I had black bookcases, and then I had my vinyls that were sitting right out front. So yeah, now they sit right here as nice, cool artwork. This right here is actually dinosaurs. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, this is a poem by Donna Smith, Dinosaurs in the Hood. It's one of my favorite poems ever. So it's 4 feet by 3 feet that I have just sitting right here. And I don't want to show too much because my house is it's not clean at all. But these are the bookcases. Okay. Like I said, they are underwhelming. So let's open them up. And look, I've had these for years, absolute years. They're so cool. They're bumblebees. No matter what, I'll never get rid of these doorknobs. I got them at like a Marshall's or something. But this is where we keep all of our toys, our collectibles. Some are sitting in the other room, but for the most part, they sit up here in like unorganized mess. And then some of the Legos that my kids built. So this is Voltron. I got this for my husband, and they just made it together over like the course of a year. Um, these are all the YA books that my kid reads, and it's why I don't really show them. Even though Acevedo is out here, and I fucking love these books so much. But yeah, this is mostly except for the Majesties. That's not YA. Um, but these are all books that my kid reads that they enjoy. They like uh darker things. They're starting to get into horror now, so like this shelf isn't being as used as much as it used to be because they've now like gone into the green room to like read my stuff now. um this is the middle grade stuff. There used to be a lot more, and this is children's. We used to have a lot more, but as my 13-year-old got older, my youngest one, they have completely different taste. So a lot of things got, donated, and we're slowly building a library that my 8-year-old would like, which is more nonfiction, I'm finding. He really does vibe with nonfiction better. So these are about to go, except for these I Survive books. I think that they are a good, they're good for kids who like nonfiction, but you still want to introduce them to fiction. And they're just short enough to where he won't get overwhelmed at his age right now in his reading level. So we're going to keep those. But for the most part, I think these are either gonna, I don't want to donate all of them, but we may have to like, go to a free drop them off at a free library or something like that. Same with these. He's grown out of these. So we do have some children's books that we keep that are dear to us, that will never be donated, that have gone through every single one of our kids. But, these are just the things that King ended up enjoying. So these storybook collection books were books that we would read to him at night. And everything else is just, books he enjoyed, like Pow Pow Fish. He really did love that. And these are just, spillovers. So it's not a book I would recommend, right? But I keep this book because it's one of the first books I ever taught with, and it's one of my most meticulously annotated books. So I like using this as an example of how to annotate properly in classrooms. Okay, so these are... Don't judge me for this bookcase, okay? Some of these books aren't mine. Don't say, oh, but you do this, and you say, no, okay? So this is my husband's. Even though we both read and loved the I Am Number 4 series, this is his baby. These are his babies. And while I love them also, it's something that we connected with a lot. Like in the beginning of our relationship, we read them together, pre-ordered and everything. These are his babies, and so they stay out here with him now. Like I said, I was a Brit girl, so yeah, you're gonna see a lot of those quote unquote Western classics. They're in here, right? I have about 4 copies of Jane Eyre. Why? It's one of my favorite books of all time. We're not gonna argue that, okay? We're not gonna say, oh, it's so boring. No, the fuck it's not, okay? I love Jane Eyre, okay? In any retelling I find, I'm getting it, okay? So I think Within These Wicked Walls, I have, and I did enjoy that one. But yeah, I have like 4 copies of it. A lot of these are books that I had when I was in college. Like this particular version of Jane Eyre has there are a bunch of essays that take it from different critical theories. So there's a feminist, there's a I forget, but basically the different lit crit theory essays are in this one, so that's why I keep this one. These are just holdovers. I forget why these are here. I genuinely forgot why I put those there. There's a reason, I promise. I don't quite remember though. Some of these down here are books that are from my childhood. So Fat Chance is one that's from my childhood. I actually had to rebuy this one. I think it's a book about a kid a girl, it deals with bulimia and anorexia. Yeah, I loved it as a kid, and it's something that I just keep with me. These are my original copies of Cheetah Girls. So I used to have all of them, but for some reason I can't find any but these. But Cheetah Girls are my shit. Yeah, the movies were cool and all, but the books is where it's at. Cause like they took them down from all of these girls to 3. The fuck? I was pissed. And the fact that like they made everybody light skinned. Like, come on. I was like, Aquanet and Anjanette were not that light at all. You see them? You see those beautiful girls? They were not that light. But that's here nor there, right? These are where a lot of the white fantasy lives. I did read Red Queen like years ago. I think when it had just came out. I enjoyed it. Cool, but I don't really talk about them. I only have the full series because my 13-year-old loved it. Same thing with Scythe. They loved it. Hunger Games, I read. Me and my husband loved that series. And Chronicles of Narnia. I think I got this one because I was tutoring a kid and I had to read it with them. And then this one, Chronicles of Narnia, I think I got because it was on a reading list for my kid for the 6th grade. So we got it. These are a bunch of reference books. You can see like for biology, anatomy, writing, because I was a English and biology teacher. So we see biology. This is one of my college books. Yes, and there's a couple sex books in here. I'm grown. This is a short box that I've had, that I was supposed to wrap, but I ended up just sticking sewing supplies in it. So this is one of the pieces of work. I think this is like the cleanest I've been able to get this on camera. So I made this maybe 10 years. No, not 10 years ago. I made this quite some time ago. I don't remember. It was before we moved up here to Massachusetts. Well before we moved up here to Massachusetts. And I did these all with Free Comic Book Day comics. I have another one that's in one of my kids' rooms. And then one downstairs. So, and I painted this. Yeah, your girl. I don't know if anybody's ever seen like my Instagram, then you've like my stories from like the last year or two. I've been showing parts of this, right? So this is the next bookcase. Like I said, there's not much on this one. I keep it pretty open, but I keep some decor stuff in here. This is where I keep my gardening resources. So like how I'm gardening. This is New England, month by month gardening, native plants to New England. This is a homeowner's book that I have, and one of these deals with our will. This is where we keep our degrees and Scrabble, obviously, and just like, I don't even know what's in here. This is my son's. And this is where I keep the vinyls that we play regularly. I won't go into this now, but if you ever want me to go through it, it's just a collection of different things. Like, if you guys have ever listened to Jungle or just like the visuals from this volcano, it's absolutely fantastic. They finally posted the whole thing after teasing everybody for like 6 months. But this album is absolutely fantastic. And those are just technology boxes. So yeah, those are what, 5, 6, 7. So let's go downstairs to number 8. So the reason why I do not, let me show my face. The reason why I don't film down here is because this is the family space. We are in here a lot together. This is where we hang out. This is where we kick it. So I don't really like doing filming down here. But I always put these books here because whenever we have people come to the house, I need them to know what kind of household this is. I'm sorry, when people say that, oh, you can't judge people by their books. Absolutely, you can. You can tell the type of person someone is by what they read. And so, yeah, I have my sci-fi, my fantasy upstairs, but I really need you to know what our values are, especially in the town we live in. There are a lot of uh, ignorant voices that are louder than others. And I need people to know just right off the bat, like, don't come and don't play with me with a lot of things. So this right here says everything it needs to say. So I'm going to just kind of do, because my living room is kind of clean. So, so this is where our TV is. This is a very black household, okay? Literally and figuratively. So yeah, this is where we kick it. So this is bookcase number 8. So, this whole thing used to be a fireplace when this house was first built, but then they built this in for a TV and some drawers, which I fucking love. We keep all of our blankets here because it's Massachusetts. It's Massachusetts and it's cold as hell. So this holds our games and our blankets. And we just put these shelves in here maybe a year or two ago. So we have our instruments. Me and hubby play multiple instruments. We met at band camp. Yes, we did. So up here is my black fiction. Yes, so I see y'all. Yasi, Colson Whitehead. Yeah, The 12 Tribes of Hattie is one of the first, black fiction I read as an adult. I read this years ago when it first came out. It was cool. It's sad. Fuck, it's sad. But I enjoyed it. I like sad shit, right? What we're noticing. I also love generational sagas. So even though this is YA, I felt like it deserved to be down here with the rest of all my other generational sagas and dealing with generational traumas and all of that stuff. So Jacqueline Woodson is actually my kid's favorite author. But Red at the Bone is it sits right there with them. August Wilson, I love Gem in the Ocean. I had the opportunity to watch this in Philly at a play, and it was just fantastic. The play itself is absolutely magnificent, but the actors and actresses did their thing with this one right here. What else? Just Fawcett, Plum Bun is something that everybody needs to read. It's fantastic. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Nella Larson, I have this. I actually read this one. Anything with this right here, you see, I read it in college. Because, that was the joys of being an English major, right? Everybody else is yeah, my textbook is $300. I'm I got used books for $20 total. Yay. So I have 2 copies of Secret Lives of Church Ladies. One I bought for myself, one I got as a gift from Hillary. I fucking love this collection so much. One of my favorites. And it's right next to the book that put me in therapy. That's the only reason why I don't get rid of it. This one was written by Logic, the rapper, who, keeps, having all those issues online. It's the only reason I keep it is because it put me in therapy. I wouldn't have known I was autistic. Because honestly, I'll go into that another day. But this book put me in therapy, had me crying for, a time. There's no rhyme or reason, clearly, right? Because I have Yagiyasi here, and then over there. There's no rhyme or reason here. Things are just up here. I forget why this is. Oh, because I didn't like this book at all. It's fucking ridiculous. I have to get rid of that. That's why I did that. Then we have the autobiography of Malcolm X and Ta-Nehisi Coates. When I said look at this shelf. If you walked into somebody's house and you saw the shelf, what do you think I'm saying to you? I'm saying a lot of things, right? Yeah. That's all that needs to be said. This is why I'm tired of people saying, oh, don't judge me for my books. Honey, I'm not going to judge you for all of them, but some yes. Some yes. Because they say things. It says things.
So yeah, what do I have? I have James Baldwin on here, which I've been going through his stuff. So everything here, I'm proud to say I've read all of this so far. I still have to read some more. I have Angela Davis. I'm missing a book from her here. Where is it? Okay, so I'm missing a few books from her. But my Bell Hooks collection is here. Um, this is the book rec that I got when I was listening to a live from FD Signifier and Mark Lamont Hill. And I'm just like, I have to read this year. Dear Synthuran is one of my favorite books of all time. It's so radical. People always say, oh, well, I'm gonna give books to my enemies that I absolutely hate. I'm like, no, I'm gonna give you things that are gonna radically change you and make you remember who got it for you. So I always recommend Dear Synthuran. Um, what else? Then this is just nonfiction as well. This is my D&D catalog handbook that I'm doing. I was supposed to do this last summer, but I'm gonna do it this summer. I feel like my son is ready to do this, so we're gonna do a campaign this summer outside, and maybe I'll record it if the kids want me to. You know, we'll see. Oh, there it is. Haha. Had to put all the Angela stuff together. As I can say, there's not a lot of rhyme or reason. Oh, okay, so this is Etheridge Knight, right? I got this because black haikus, like out of poetry, period. I love black haikus, and he has one in here. Fuck, where is it? Okay, so he has a bunch of black haikus, like you see them here. But he has one that he wrote during his time in prison, and it speaks about it, and it's just fucking brilliant. If anybody ever wants to hear me talk about black haikus, there actually is one of the reasons why I loved Tatiana Obey's Black Sis Samurai, because she has one on the cover, and I was like, period, right? What else? Some of this isn't mine, but Disability, Visibility, Unmasking Autism. This book made me cry. The first, like, I think 2 to 5 minutes in of the audiobook, cried my eyes out. I've never resonated with someone more in my entire life. I didn't know other people had these experiences, and this entire book was me looking at myself in the mirror, finally going, hey, guess what? People are like you. Yeah. So it's not something I talk about a lot, because some days I'm really comfortable with the autistic label and my diagnosis, and other days I struggle with it because, you know, you're raised to be, when you're considered highly intelligent and you're raised to be perfect and you fall short, it's a hard pill to swallow. So this book made me realize that I am not alone. And I will put this back because I'm about to cry. This is Mildred D. Taylor. I've talked about this series, The Logan Family. I've been slowly trying to collect them. This is out of order. Don't look at this as it's in order. This is the most recent one that came out. I think it came out in like 2020. This is the very last book of the Logan series. So the plan is to have the entire series. So if anybody ever finds one and goes, oh, here, please help me. And then these are the rest of my Brit-Lit Western classics and adaptations. I have Canterbury Tales. This I got because, wait, this is not part of here. See? No order. But I got this because of a comic book. Because the poems from this book were in the comic book. I'll put the comic book up when I remember. But these are my collection of William Shakespeare. Yes, I had things upstairs, but I love Shakespeare so much. Like, this is another copy of the Merchant of Venice. Yeah, I love Shakespeare so much. And this is the Antigone, the Poetics, yes, I am that person. Ooh, okay. So this book right here, Maul Flanders, um, I read for the first time in a class that was talking about the history of the novel and how the novel came to be, right? So yes, we have prose, but like, how did we get from like prose and the long ass stuff that you see in the Odyssey to chapters? And Maul Flanders sits comfortably between the two. Um, it's still prose, it's still fairly long, but there are some indications of structure where, you know, chapters are starting to be created in this book. Also, Maul Flanders, the character herself, just a badass. So I like that. If you are a nerd like me and like that kind of shit, then yeah, check it out. I was just about to go upstairs, but I realized like this is further into my dining room. So this is my dog's stuff. Um, but I have books, just stacks of books. So we have Jubilee Amistad and Gumbo, which is an anthology that has just like nearly anybody and everybody to interview is in here. Um, and then a book that I bought from a library, Black Artists and Who Shot Ya. I went through a serious period in high school learning about hip hop and hip hop history. So I still have a lot of that information, but this is one of my favorite photography books. And I forget where I got this one. I think my mom got it for me and then sent it. And then yeah, my little Decor. These are from Brazil from my mom. I got this at the Indunde Festival in Philly. Um, and you know, I forget what kind. That's a B. Oh my god. So that is my entire library. It is a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or you want me to, you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'm checking that constantly. Okay? I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go read a book. Actually, I have to read comics for the live tonight. You guys will see this on Saturday, but I'm filming this on Thursday, few hours before my live will break. So later, I'll see you guys on the next one.